Hey everybody, I'm going to try a little something new that I'm going to call a Workshop Wednesday. These are going to be improvements to my shop so that I can make, working on stuff a little bit better. So without further ado, we'll get into the normal video stuff. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Pyros Projects. Today is going to be a little bit different. This episode is going to be a little bit different. As I mentioned on the last episode, it gets really, really warm in my barn. And the previous owners that I bought the house from left a really good sized window in the barn that used to be part of the house. They took the window out and put a back door in the back of the house. So they left the window out here in the barn for me. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to go ahead and install that window to get myself a little more ventilation and hopefully not die of heat exhaustion out here. I'm going to turn the camera around and I'll show you what I'm working with because I'm an idiot and already started and forgot to start filming. So hang on one second. All right. On this back wall back here, I started taking out the 2x4s that used to be right here. I was able to salvage two of them that I can still use as part of, what do they call it? The jack studs or the king studs or something. I got to make a couple of header pieces up here at the top. And obviously I'll have to do the bottom underneath the bottom of the window. But I've got two of the three boards that I took out that I can reuse as the king studs or whatever they call them. I'm going to unbury that window, get it measured out so I can kind of mark off this wall a little bit. Once I get the window out, I'll show you what the window looks like. Okay, here's the window that they left for me. And it is 55, we'll call it 56 inches tall by 38 inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and get this marked off on the wall so that I can start getting it framed out. I got to obviously still have to put the header up there, but one thing at a time. We'll get there. I'll catch you guys up in a little bit. Okay, so this is where I'm at. I've got my headers on, and I guess it would be the footers, and then my little jack studs to support the weight of the window. Now, what I've got to do is not paying attention to what I was doing. I mismeasured my wall, and I made my main opening a little too wide. I made it 48 inches instead of 38. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll measure in 5 inches and put another one that'll rest on the footer stud or footer beams, whatever you call that stuff. I'm not a carpenter. I did a lot of research on how to put them in, but I messed up, so I got to fix it now. So I'm going to get those cut, get those put in, and then I'm going to test fit the window before I cut the wood out of the back wall to make the opening. I'll get the new windows installed, or not the new windows, the other boards installed to narrow the opening up a little bit. I'll get the window set up and do for the test fit, and I'll show you what I'm looking at. All right, so I got my frame narrowed up to put in some extra jack studs, and I put some below the footer board. And I've got my window just test fitted in there for a moment. I'm holding it up with my level, as you can see. I got to take the window back out and actually build a frame to this window that I can screw to the wall. So once I get all that done and dealt with, I'll cut the hole in the wall, slap it up there, and show you what it looks like. All right, everybody, my little side quest shop project, whatever you want to call it, is now done. Here's what I ended up with. I got it all framed in, cut the wall out. I ended up having to do this a little bit differently because I didn't install the window from outside. I installed it from inside. So I actually screwed this 2x4, well, 3 of them, to the frame of the actual window itself. And then I used those heavy-duty Spax lag screws in a couple places to screw that to the frame that I put in the wall to hold it up in place. So now I've got a nice opening and closing window. And I can tell you this, when I cut that hole in the wall, the temperature in this barn dropped drastically. I went ahead and bought myself one of these nice little indoor-outdoor thermometers. When I started this project, my indoor temp down here was either 90 or 91 degrees when I was getting ready to cut that hole in the wall. Now it's dropped down to 86 degrees. So that's a 5-degree temperature difference that I gained by putting that window in the wall. Now I do have a box fan and one of those little round circular fans. I'm contemplating, well, I got to run some electricity over here first from my breaker box. But when I run some electricity over here, I might actually put the box fan in this window to pull all the air through, and it'll also help suck any smoke out of the barn. So we'll worry about that another day. That might be maybe next week's project. Right now, I'm going to get the barn cleaned up and ready to continue on the stove for Sunday's video. So I hope everybody's having a good week, and we'll talk to you, or we'll see you on Sunday.